Hey guys, I just wanted to make a quick tutorial on what I found to be the most effective way to grind currency in Gran Turismo 7. There's a few items that you're going to need beforehand. One is going to be a rally stage. Rally stages are, in my opinion, the quickest way and easiest way to consistently get a decent amount of race credits. So you'll need to complete the cafe menu items in order to unlock them. You'll unlock one of them fairly early on, Colorado Springs, and then the shorter one, I think it's Ranchlands. That one is unlocked later on. The second item you're going to need is going to be a rally car. If you don't want to purchase one because they're pretty expensive, like at about 450,000 credits, you can actually unlock one from just the licensing center. You'll need to complete the international A license, and just the bronze will unlock you the GT86 rally car. So let's get right into it. We're going to go into the world circuit, and just in the Americas, it's going to be the two rally stages I generally grind. The one I mentioned earlier, Colorado Springs, so it's going to be this one here. That one is 3 laps and at roughly about 1.5 minutes per lap. The second one is Fisherman's Ranch. And same payouts. This one's only 1 lap, but the lap is a little bit longer. So at about 3.5 minutes is how long it takes me to drive it. There's a couple modifications that I have made to the rally car itself. So I'll just go over the settings real quick. One is you're going to need dirt tires. The second you're going to want is going to be a turbocharger just to get it to its maximum power. I have the high RPM one, but the mid RPM one will serve just fine, I find. And I think that's pretty much it. The rest you can make settings to suit your driving style. For me, I like my vehicles to understeer a little bit, so 50-50 torque distribution, and I also raise the height to from rear to maximum. Everything else I've just left as is. Oh, the other item that you'll want is Nitro, and I have that adjusted to 50 there. Nitro I will generally use just on the straightaways and just at the last bit if I'm overtaking and fighting for first. So in rally races it's a one-on-one race, so the prize is going to be first and second place only. I find it a lot easier if you're not really good at rallying, or you don't like the stress of fighting and hanging on to first, to just hang in the back and just cruise at your leisurely pace there. And you'll still earn 39,000 plus the 50% bump in the clean race bonus there, which will put you up at 58,000. So that's pretty good for between 3.5 to 5 minutes, and with 0 to no stress there, because you're not fighting and trying to hold first and playing bumper cars essentially. I find the AI to be a little sporadic, so on the turns they can catch up to you a lot and generally ram you, which in my experience has made getting the clean bonus really difficult for first consistently. So generally my strategy is to just hang on in the back and to follow their racing line, and just until the last 2 corners or so, and if I'm feeling confident, I will use Nitro and try and overtake. Otherwise I'll just take the second place and repeat that process. So we'll go ahead and get into a race here, and I'll show you some of my techniques that I use to race. So the opponent changes every time you go in and out. Personally, I found the NSX to be one of the easier opponents to go against and get first consistently. But in general, they're fairly similar. So let's see if we can change the opponent here. So now we got the Lancer, so we'll just go ahead with this one here. So drive settings I just kind of leave to what I find comfortable, which I actually leave traction control on 1, but drive to whatever you feel comfortable. The trick that I use to drive on dirt is to minimize the amount of inputs to as few as possible. So most of my inputs will be on straightaways, but even then, once I build up enough speed, I actually let the car coast. And same with turns and jumps. I just find that you're able to maintain control and grip way better when you're not inputting anything, brakes, gas. Just turning with zero inputs allows the car to maintain much better control. And as you can see, I'm hanging in the back and the opponent's getting pretty far ahead, but I'm not feeling pressured. At the end of the day, even with a payout of second place, is more than adequate at 58,000. But once you kind of get the hang of the dirt, you'll find that you can catch up to your opponent quite easily in some of the turns that come up. And even if you're crashing into the walls like myself and you're not very good at it, you just still end up catching up to the opponent. So don't feel pressured if they're way ahead of you. You'll eventually get good enough that you'll catch up to them. Or, 58,000 per 3.5 minutes or so is really not too bad. So after this jump here is when I like to turn it up, and then you can kind of gauge whether you are confident enough to try to overtake cleanly to get that 97,000, or just hang in the back and just chill. So I'm feeling pretty good. I think I can do it. So there we have it. I did bump them at the end, so that might have taken away from the bonus. Well, it did not, so there we have it. So 97,500, relatively easy and stress-free, I think. And there we go, 3.5 minutes, and you can go ahead and retry. It's especially best if you kind of find the groove with a certain opponent that you like and have that overtake spot at the end. That's when I save my nitro. But as you can see, if you looked at my inputs, most of the time I just kind of coast and let the car carry the speed in, and then just take those turns with the existing momentum that I have, and you'll be able to catch up to the opponent really easily from there. So I hope this helps you out in your grind to 20 million to acquire all those cars, and thank you for watching.